Yeah. So we have created one Google form. Whatever you are getting the calls, or whenever you are getting some emails related to the recruiters or hiring managers. So this is the form which we are trying to update the company's details on a regular basis, and indirectly we are storing the database of the recruiters. So we will be having the complete access of the recruiters, and also the users are like the students who are joined recently. You should share us your email ID and password. That means, I mean, we are creating a new ID for this job applications, right? So you have to give your details to Sai Kiran. So he will maintain your information, and he is trying to gather the information from the Naukri or any other sources, and he will be having the complete recruiters information. So in this way, like you are putting your efforts, and also like we are from our end also putting our efforts in order to uh, get the information, and we are trying to make sure as soon as possible we get to the placements. So I'm just trying to share my screen. Let me know if you could able to see.
Yeah, we can see.
Great. So this is the form which we are collecting. We are collecting name of the company and the role, or like the title of the job description, and we are going to have an email ID and phone number. So proactively, as of now, Sai, how many users has shared you the email IDs and passwords?
10, I think I have 10.
So as of now, the new batch students, that means October batch students, has not given, right?
No.
So today, at any cost, like you be behind them and ensure we complete that formalities today itself. Because again, we have a offline session. I think three are attending. For them also, you need to complete. So this week, we will ensure like we are proactively applying for the jobs.
From October batch also, I asked Shiva, Sai, Teja, and few of others also October
Shiva
batch.
is actually from the last month. Even Sai Teja is also from the last month. So,
Achha.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the subject. So yesterday topic. I think you have any doubts or anything which you wanted to ask, so that we can break through and move on to the theory part. Yeah. So we have completed the network devices, and we were about to start the computer network basically. So we have in computer network we have like LAN, WAN, and MAN, and we will be covering the subnetting, encoding, encryption, hashing techniques, and we will try to pitch to the OSI concepts as well today, along with ports and protocols. So that's the agenda of the day, and let me give you some understanding on the networking concepts. So I think like everybody during our school days, or now we are already familiar with basic networking concepts. You would have heard about this LAN, WAN, MAN. So basically what we are doing is whenever we are trying to be in a network and we wanted to exchange our data, communicate with one to other, so we basically need some networking. So unless and until we don't have network, we cannot do or exchange any of the data. So we have devices like laptops, desktops, or latest the uh, iPads, or kind of like uh, phones, smartphones, and we do the exchange of the data. We communicate over these devices, and yeah, that's how we are staying connected. So to have that, I mean, the at the background, how is this is going to achieved? So we have two devices, and that device need to be communicate, or we have to make sure like they are aligned in a proper networking so that we can achieve the desired concept. So trying to open the paint. One thing. So basically we have the laptop 1, and we have laptop 2, laptop 3, laptop 4. So we have four different sets, or like four different devices. And if you wanted to have some communication between laptop 1 to laptop 3, or between this and this, or vice versa, so this could be achieved uh, with only by networking. Okay, so Manaki, if you are in the a home kind of a environment, so or like any school or institute level, or any organization within the one location, so this could be better uh, uh, achieved with the help of LAN, which is called local area network. Okay, and this will be like where it will have like cables and routers, and there will be a physical devices, and there will be some wireless devices. Now the wireless devices are nothing but the routers, right? So that's how it is being connected, and we are going to exchange the information or data, or we communicate from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, or 3 to 4, whatever. So this could be only achieved with the help of networking. So networking is the one concept which is enabling the communication between one or more system, or one or more devices. So in one case we have LAN, and another case we have MAN. Man is something like which is used for metro area network. So you have offices set up in different locations in the metro cities, and you wanted to get connected or associated. So you will be okay, so you will be having the option of going through a WAN connection, sorry, MAN connection, right? So other than that, like if it is like having a different locations, and where like the large area which involves in networking, so we will switch to the WAN. So it covers the larger areas such as cities, and even allow computers in different nations to connect. So we use the WAN. So LAN is for limited, under one roof, and this could be achieved if it is home or business or office related stuff within this organization. You can have a networking with the help of LAN. And if it is metro areas, or we will have MAN, and WAN is for the larger areas. So these are the three networking approaches which we do, and we will achieve in terms of exchanging of the information or data. So this is a bit of the networking. And in other way, we have a subnetting. So subnetting is nothing but it will divide the large network into two or more smaller networks, so that it's called as subnetting. So this you will be understanding in detail once we involve in a real-time sessions. So you will get to know how this subnetting or subnetting IPs will be seen. So let's say we have an IP address, and for example, yesterday we were discussing the right private IP or public IP. So we have 1.2.0.1.02. So 1.2.0.1.03, 1.2.0.1.04. So what is happening is this all comes under one major network, and the last digit in the IP address, it is on an incremental. So that means these all under one networking or one ISP, but the subnetting is happening within that particular network by adding the number of hosts. So that's how we could able to understand by looking at the first uh, uh, three decimals, or three numbers in the IP addresses, and followed with last numbers which are in increment. So we can understand that this all falls under one basically network. So these are subdividing. So that's about subnetting. So the most important topic in terms of we have in this understanding, since we have different devices which are connected over the network. So we are using a different techniques to achieve that, and all these devices are aligned in the network. Whatever might be the concept, they have been aligned with the MAN, WAN, LAN, whatever. But basically, why this networking concepts has been introduced is we wanted to stay connect, we wanted to exchange the information, we wanted to communicate from one another. And to achieve this, the the data is sent from one to others, and this data has to be secured, and this has to be uh, reach to the proper destination as per the goals which has creator has. So he wanted to share the data to a different host, and that could be achieved with the help of the encoding, encryption, and hashing. So data is sent through the means, and that data has to be properly encoded, encrypted, and hashed. So in typical encoding, what happens is encoding basically converts the data into a desired format required for exchange between different systems. So this doesn't convert it or into a secret data, but it will be doing the usable data. So it can be further decoded through the same tools when necessary. So let's say you have created one document. So I have created one document, and I wanted to share it across with another PC, or maybe another laptop, or another host in other way. So it has to be converted in a proper readable format. So generally what we use, we will send that information maybe with an email, or probably with an Word document, or probably with a PDF document. So that conversion will be taken care in the encoding section, right? So other technique which we use for maintaining the integrity of the data, that will be achieved with the help of hashing. So this serves for maintaining the integrity of the message. Now the integrity means the data should not tamper or should not modified by any of the third party or unauthorized person. So in case if it is happening, so the owner of that particular file who has created will get to know. So that's the technique what we will be using in terms of maintaining the integrity of the data. So that could be achieved with the help of hashing. Now encryption. So encryption is used basically for the securing the data. Somebody joined. Okay. So data could be secured in the encryption technique, and this could be achieved by one need to verify by digital codes, or probably you will have a verification code over the mobile, or maybe you can have fingerprint or maybe face recognition to decode. So so the encryption could achieve to secure the data. And in this encryption we have two types. One is symmetric encryption, another one is asymmetric encryption. So in the symmetric encryption, the same key is used to decode. I mean, whenever we are creating a document or data, and that would be encrypted with a certain key. And if you wanted to decrypt it, so you will be using the same key. So there will be a password. Basically that password could be used by creator or decoder. So in case of asymmetric, the two different keys are used. So for encryption they will be using a public key, and for decryption they will be using a secret key. Got it? So basically we are in the network, and we are trying to exchange data. Now the data whatever is going to exchange, that has to be properly maintained with these three concepts. It should be encoded, it should be encrypted, it should be hashed. So uh, you are not here to give the access to the third person, right? So you don't want it to have any unauthorized person to steal the data. So to achieve that, to maintain that, you need to have these three concepts. So in the networking, these are the things which are predominant. And whenever you are exchanging the data, for example, even if you are sending an email to your friend, so your email will be encoded, your email will be encrypted, your email will be hashed. It's not like you do on your own, but by default, whatever the application which you are using an Gmail application, probably Outlook application. So that Outlook application, whatever is providing you the services, so that will do the encoding, that will be doing the encryption, and that will be doing the hashing. Because whatever the message or whatever the email which you are sending, that has to be reached to the particular user, and no other parties should be involved unless and until you are authorized, or you are giving the access to the third person. So these are the three techniques which are used, right? So to understand much deeper about the concept of networking, so this could be basically achieved with the help of OSI concepts. Now what is OSI is? OSI is a open system interconnection. So this consists of 7 layers. So this could be better understood, or like better way where you could able to articulate is by looking at the 7 layers from the down to top. Like, you see a physical layer, you see a data link layer, there is a network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So as I said, in the in this whatever you are doing, and messaging or emailing, so basically it will have like these techniques which will be used to secure the data. So they do encoding, encryption, and hashing. But to in other way, like to achieve that, so we have like a user machine, I mean the one who is basically drafting an email. So he will be using either a smartphone or a laptop, or maybe some desktop. So he is like basically creating or drafting the email, and you wanted to send to xyz@gmail.com. So this is the end uh, person with whom you wanted to uh, share this email. So he's a recipient, right? So he might be also using maybe a laptop, he maybe a smartphone, or maybe a desktop, or any of the device which basically uh, where you could able to read out that email. So now in this scenario it looks very simple. You are created an email, and this guy has received an email. So in the process of like sending and receiving, so this is having a 7 different layers. అంటే ఈ లోపల ఈ ఈ ఈ హోస్ట్ నుంచి డెస్టినేషన్ కి రీచ్ అయ్యే లోపల మనకు ఆ మెసేజ్ ఎలా వెళ్తుంది, ఎలా దాన్ని లైక్ లేయర్స్ ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి అన్నది యూ విల్ బెటర్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇన్ ది కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఓఎస్ఐ. సో బేసికలీ దిస్ హ్యాస్ గాట్ 7 different layers. సో ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఇందులో ఒక where is that, like you are trying to draft an email, probably you are using a smartphone or a laptop or a desktop. So basically you are using a device and which has to support your email. So basically ఒక అప్లికేషన్ కావాలి, అవుట్లుక్ అప్లికేషన్ అయినా కావాలి, లేకపోతే జీమెయిల్ అప్లికేషన్ అయినా కావాలి టు డ్రాఫ్ట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఈమెయిల్, రైట్? సో ఇక్కడ ఏమేమి అవసరం ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఒక ఫిజికల్ డివైస్ and one application, and that whatever the data it is there, it has to be encoded, encrypted, right? And this has to be sent. Now sending is happening with what, with the sources of like you need to have a network, you need to have a transport. అంటే ఆ మెసేజ్ అక్కడికి నుంచి అక్కడికి డెలివర్ కావాలంటే we have a different sources with which you could able to achieve that, right? So that you will look it here, like ఒక డివైస్ ఉంది and that has to be connected in a physical layer. సో ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఓ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉంది and it has been connected through a Wi-Fi, and with the help of like router we could able to achieve the physical layer, right? So that might involves a Wi-Fi connection and a cable connection, right? And we have a data link layer. So రెండు machines are like one or more device ఉంది, ఆ device కి to achieve this receiving the whatever the data, so it has to be linked with a data link layer. So the data link layer should have a reliable transfer of the data across physical layers, and there should be like switching where redirect packets to exact system should take place, and it is being achieved with the help of like MAC address. So it should have, or it should give the MAC address in case of data link layer. So data link చేయాలి. So data link చేయాలి అంటే we should have a MAC address, and to achieve that we should have a network layer. So what the network layer does is it does the routing. So transmitting packets over the best path to exact destination, it gives the IP address. So networking layer లో ఏమవుతుందంటే if you have like IP addresses, so the amount of the data or the packets can be exchanged with the help of IP addresses. And the fourth layer involves the transport layer. So transport layer decides the best route, or like where the error free or errorless connection of the data could be achieved. So this can be given with the help of port numbers. So two foremost important layers which has one is TCP and UDP. So with this help, like the transport layer could be achieved. So basically this has got like depending on the kind of information you are sharing. So we have two techniques, one is TCP and UDP. So in the coming session you will be having more important or detailed information on this TCP and UDP. So TCP reliable ఉంటుంది or like acknowledgement ఉంటుంది, where UDP doesn't have a reliable and there is no acknowledgement. It is UDP is faster and TCP is slower. So that you will learn in the next coming session. So the transport layer is the one like which will have data transport through a network, and it maintains proper delivery, and it will ensure there should not be any error. So this could be achieved with the help of ports and port numbers. And the fifth layer, which is a session layer. So basically what the session does is it establish or maintain and terminate the session. So let's say if you are trying to send uh, multiple prints from a different host, అంటే మనము ఆఫీస్లో ఉన్నాము, నాలుగైదు మెషిన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, and everybody want to print అంటే laptop one is giving a one print, and second person is giving a print, and third person is giving some print in the network. So now the session has to decide like who has sent the print first. So first come first serve. So our timing, our sessioning should be done by the session layer. So that's what it establishes, maintains, and terminates a session between two communicating hosts. And this could be better achieved with the help of three-way handshaking. So this will also you will be understanding in the coming topics. And three-way handshake is more important in terms of understanding the network. So ఎందుకు ఇది ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటే whenever you are in the SOC operations, so SOC operations involves the incident response. Now incident response is something like something has happening, some unauthorized person has gained your access, and you wanted to stop that. So if you wanted to stop that, you need to have a containment process. So a contain చేయాలి అంటే basically what you are doing is you are breaking the three-way handshake. So communication between two hosts should be breaked if there is any unauthorized person who is involved in the network. So that we will have an elaborated discussion in the session layer. And the presentation, now the presentation layer is something like if you look at this, uh, we had two different like uh, machines, or like laptops or smartphones, who has drafted and who has received. So draft చేసినప్పుడు email draft చేసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ నీ whatever the application Gmail or like Outlook has created the encryption, encoding, and hashing. Now recipient should also need to decode it once he received the email. So first thing, you are whatever the application you are having at the recipient side, before even it makes you ready, it should decode the data. So that is nothing but the presentation layer. So it formats the data in other way, like presenting the data is in required format. It does encryption, decryption, encoding, decoding, compression, decompression take place here. So the last would be the application layer. Now application layer etla work chestadante, as I said, like the email has been drafted with the uh, Outlook application. So recipient should also have an application which reads or where it interacts to the computer, where you can understand, right? So application layer is something like it is an interaction between computers and users, and it provides a set of protocols to enable computers to transfer the data. So basically you're reading it out. So very best example for this are HTTP, FTP, and SMTP. Now SMTP is one, like a a protocol which is used in any of the end devices. Basically this protocol is used for this mailing. So SMTP is simple mail texting protocol. So that is the one which is going to help us in achieving all your email related stuff. So అండర్స్టూడ్, లైక్ ఒక ఈమెయిల్ ఇక్కడ డ్రాప్ చేసి ఇక్కడ రిసీవ్ చేసి ఒక డేటా ఇక్కడ నువ్వు టైప్ చేస్తావు వాట్సాప్లో, అండ్ ఎండ్ రిసిపియంట్ ఈస్ అచీవింగ్ ఆర్ రిసీవింగ్ దాట్. సో మనకు కనిపించడానికి ఆర్ చూడడానికి 1 microseconds లో ఈ డేటా ఇక్కడ నుంచి అక్కడ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయిపోతుంది, అక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ అయిపోతుంది. బట్ దేర్ ఆర్ 7 layers which involves to achieve our goals. So that goals or that layers is nothing but OSI layer. So OSI layer is open system interconnection, right? సో దీంట్లోనే అంటే ఇక్కడే ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ లోనే మొత్తం మనకి వాట్ ఎవర్ లైక్ the attacks are going to take place, where the hackers wanted to disrupt our network. Their end goal is to break this layers. So each layer has got a different kind of like attacks which are specified by the attackers. So attack జరిగితే ఏ లేయర్ లో జరిగింది, ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ లేయర్ లో జరిగిందా, నెట్వర్క్ లేయర్ లో జరిగిందా, ఆర్ సెషన్ లేయర్ లో జరిగిందా. So that we will be evaluating in the coming sessions. And right now at this moment, like ports and port numbers are basically used, as I said, like one of the example SMTP. So SMTP is, if you look at here, a simple mail transfer protocol which has the port number of 25. సో ఇది ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తాము అంటే ప్రతి డివైస్కి ఒక్కొక్క ఫంక్షన్ ఉంటుంది, అంటే ఒక్కొక్క క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఆ ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్ ఉంటాయి. అండ్ దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ థౌజండ్స్. I mean, if you look at this, there are some thousands of port numbers, and among them we are going to get familiar with only few. So you should be able to understand the port numbers, because in the interview they will definitely ask like what is the port number of HTTP, what is the port number of HTTPS, and what is DNS, what is FTP, ఇవన్నీ అడుగుతారు. సో you have to బటిఫై దిస్. ఇది మీకు ఖచ్చితంగా మీరు మెమరైజ్ చేసుకోవాల్సింది. ఓకే, సో we have we have this on a I mean, we have followed certain uh, format where it is like in a increasing, ante SSH 22, SCP secure copy protocol 22, or SSL 22, TLS 22, IPsec internet protocol security 500, HTTPS 80, HTTP 80, HTTPS 443, FTP 20 and 21, SNMP 161, DNS 53, DHCP. సో అట్లా ఇవన్నీ కూడా మీరు మెమరైజ్ చేసుకోవాల్సింది. ఓకే, సో విత్ దిస్ లైక్ today we could able to have a better understanding on the network computer network, which involves LAN, MAN, WAN, and subnetting, how the encoding, encryption, and hashing could take place, and if two machines or like two devices are there, and whatever the data is being transferred, so it involves 7 different layers. Those layers belongs to like OSI. So in the OSI concepts, each layer how the functionalities take place, and what is ports and port numbers. So we have just covered that. So you can go through this, and anyways I'm drafting this and creating one recorded session, and also whatever the session which we have completed today, I am going to document it, and you can review it during your whatever flexible time you have. You can go through it and review it. Right? Anything else?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Our only answers are settled.
Yes. Yes, they are settled.
What are your days session?
Sorry.
What are your timings now?
As of now, I'm logging in between 9 to 6.
Only 9 to 6. Okay.
Mm. So, yeah, we are using the SIM application called Logarithm, and I have access for both admin level as well as like analyst level. So yesterday only we have done with some of the KT sessions. So I have those recordings, but unfortunately I cannot share it over the online. But that's what, weekly once or twice it is recommended for you guys to come to the institute and get this real-time knowledge, so that you will have some kind of understanding on what we actually do and how the alert flows, how are we going to do the analysis, what is the escalation matrix, what is the handover call. So all these things like you will get to know, which is required basically.
Michelle, I request you to fix the day so that we will come on that day. You fix the day. Is that on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday?
Fine.
It will not
Today,
be
today I will decide and I'll come back. So you have any weekends or something like that, like Saturday, Sunday is your weekends, or
Saturday and Sunday only weekend.
okay? In that case, like we can probably choose either Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, or weekly once. Because what we have planned is for the next 4 weeks we are going to complete the theory part, and within this three theory I'm not going to involve much in terms of like understanding the real time at this moment. A basic level of understanding only we will be giving, but once you get the job and once you now onboarded, that is where like you should be more focused on the real time.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever we are giving like overview itself, because we don't know what kind of a project you will be involved, what is the SIM tool which you will be working for. So that is the reason like we will not restrict to one particular solution.